Yes. Okay. Are we holding 117? Yes.
117.
Let's see. Yeah, we're holding on 117B by the Simon. It's 4 lines from the bottom. Thank Hashem. We're able to enter every day. Okay. It's list of our learning, we should have the basic Mikdash immediately. Learning the Nishma Savadol the Basra Yaman. And Sanos have Ben Zion. And our first name of Avin David Ben Sarah and Gedali gets Elias Ben. Is your father's in your house? Sukkos, more convenient. Yeah, I walk outside.
Well, Chaim's in the games.
Where they
Go
go?
by himself.
So Chaim goes to Eretz Yisrael for sickness. Next year he's just gonna stay there for us.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a simon over here. Larav, Tzlafchad, V'Yosef, Ichbel, Menashe, and Yechashev. I bet that simon is the conversations of Rav Papa and Abaya. Because we're gonna have like about 6 conversations here, 6 questions. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe that's it. We'll work it out. Amalei Rav Papa La Abaya. Is how it starts. You know, Rav Papa is a student of Abaya. So he starts asking like this. Remember yesterday we had a machlekes. How is Eretz Yisrael divided? Is it divided up by the 600,000 that left Mitzrayim? Or is it divided up by the 600,000 that came into Eretz Yisrael, the different people? But it's going to give different portions, to different amounts, to different people, right? Is it divided by the parents? And then the children get their parents' portion, or is it divided by those that entered in? So if we say that it's divided by those that left Egypt, it says to the many, they'll increase their portion. To the few, they'll diminish their portion. Now, here's the thing. If the people that are entering into the land of Israel are each getting a portion, so everyone gets a portion. What do you mean to the many we increase the portion? There's every person gets one portion. I mean to the many increase the portion. So that's why it works like this. If it's going to the people that left Egypt, there were many people that left Egypt, even though now there's fewer. So they'll have, to the many will increase their portion. Those that are going in are going to have a larger portion because of the many that left Egypt. But if every person that's coming into Eretz Yisrael is getting one portion, you don't say to the many will increase the portion because there's no age.
To one.
So he asks, maybe you'd want to say that it's referring to want to say that it's referring to the Shvatim. So he says there was something that said that clearly, and it wasn't necessary to say that. It says La'ila Tichalak Aretz, to these the land is divided. You don't need a pasuk. Yeah. Any comments over there about it? Why is it? Maybe Moshe is asking. Maybe Larav Taban Achlas is referring to the general population would be getting more because each one is getting their individual portion.
Well, that would be the case if both comments are true.
Right.
People get it if they were 20 when they left Mitzrayim, if their heirs would get it, if the father was 20 when he left Mitzrayim, and then the son gets on his own
Right.
because he enters into Israel. So he ends up with two portions.
Yeah, which that was one of the opinions, but we're trying to disprove one opinion now. We're trying to disprove the one that says the Bayaretz. The Bayaretz. We're trying to disprove them. That's what Rav is doing. So here it says maybe like this. The phrase for the numerous one shall increase its inheritance means that if a family was numerous at some other point in time, its inheritance should be increased disproportionate to its current number. That's what the understanding of this. Yeah, it's referring to the family, but it has to be disproportionate to its current number. Rav, Tarbe Nachlase, what do you mean Tarbe? It must be that it's not a Tarbe Nachlase, each one is getting his, how many people there are. It's not a Tarbe. So the Gemara is understanding it, that you're getting something that's not equal to what you have now. Just to say that each person is getting his portion, each person is getting one portion. So obviously that adds up to however many people there are. What's the chiddush of this? It must be that even though I don't have so many people now, but since L'Rav, to those there were many people that left Egypt, Pasuk is telling me that there are many people that left Egypt, there's this small group of people is going to get based on that.
And you wouldn't understand that for those who went into Eretz Yisrael?
We're talking about, let's say the example he gives here, 10 children left Eretz Yisrael. When they left, 10 children left Egypt. When they come to Eretz Yisrael, there's only 5. So we say they're going to end up with 10. Those 5 are going to end up with 10 portions. That family, they're going to end up with all 10. No. It's saying that oh, that's what you want to say, the extra portion. No, it's saying that this family was a larger family when they left Egypt, so now they're going to end up with a larger portion. L'Rav, when they left, Tarbe Nachlase, we're going to increase their portion, even though right now they're not as big. Right? Let's say the opposite, that if there were 5 when they left Egypt, and now there's 10.
But apply that same ruling to the those who enter the land. Even though they left and they were a few, and now they're coming in for after why? In other words, why does that logic apply?
Because if we say that every person that enters the land of Israel gets one portion, so then you're not,
even though they left Mitzrayim and they were fewer, now they're going to come into Israel.
Yeah, but what the Gemara is saying is that I don't have to say L'Rav Tarbe Nachlase when each person is getting exactly the portion that he has when he enters in. L'Rav Tarbe Nachlase has to be telling me a chiddush that even though I don't have so many people, I'm still giving them. They have to be telling me a chiddush, not that each person is getting b'shavat. So, but if we're saying that it's according to the people that come into the land of Israel, we're on top of page 118. So my L'Rav Tarbe Nachlase, what do you mean? To the many, you're increasing. Every person is getting whatever, however many people there are entering in. You're telling me a chiddush. Chiddush must be that even though I don't have so many people, but because there used to be, they're going to get a bigger portion. Versus kasha. It's a good point.
Could this be considered like the potential inheritance?
That Gemara is going to talk about later. But potential inheritance, that's only a concern with the Bechar.
No, but here, like they didn't inherit yet, and their descendants are.
Exactly. Yeah. Why?
Like the son doesn't inherit what the mother was supposed to inherit. The son, it goes back to the grandparents.
No, that was only in special cases. It was only special. No, it doesn't work like that. If there's a grandson that and right,
My example wasn't good. but, you know,
yeah, that we only said that by a firstborn that he doesn't get a double portion, something that they didn't receive yet.
take, for example,
Any
with the
inheritance, even
husband,
if the father didn't get that money, but the money comes into his estate, children divide that up, even though it came later. Yeah.
for example, the wife, the wife passes, and she was supposed to get this inheritance from her father. Okay, she was the only child, and she's supposed to receive this inheritance, but she passes it, and her husband is supposed to inherit her. And then
It can be said by a wife also, it doesn't work.
yeah, so why
But
would
yeah,
here that
these are the children. The children, they do get it. The Gemara is going to discuss. You have a point, but it's not relevant over here. The Gemara is going to discuss that point on the next page. Okay, that was number one. What was this referring to? This was in the Simon. This was the first one. This was the Rav. Rav Papa has another question for Abaya, for his teacher. This would be Tzalafchad. According to the opinion that says that it was divided by the people that left Egypt, that's how those 600,000 got their portions. That's why the Bnei Tzalafchad were screaming. You see, they were saying that there is a portion that's supposed to be going to someone, and he happens not to be here, so give it to us. But if it's but if it's the people entering the land, what are they screaming about? He's not here. You say, why should our father lose out? Lose out because he's not here. That's why he should lose out. He's losing. If it was divided only by the people that entered the land of Israel, so Tzlafcha doesn't enter the land of Israel. But the girls are entering. Okay, but the girls don't inherit. It must be that Tzlafcha was supposed to get a portion because it's divided by the Yotzim Mitzrayim.
What about all the other people that didn't have a father?
That's it, exactly. Then they should have also screamed.
Hey.
Morning.
Morning. Nice. Eliezer said. So be asking all the other people. The Gemara is going to discuss. The Gemara is going to discuss about the other people. You'll see soon. You'll see soon. It's going to bring it up. So Ella, the Gemara says, so okay, we can answer this question. Ella Chazara. You remember, we had this complicated way of dividing the land of Israel amongst the 600,000. What they would do is the 600,000 people that came into the land of Israel, if it's divided by them, the 600,000 that came into the land, then what you did is we took that portion, we passed it back to their parents that left Egypt, and then redivided it so it would equal out between the cousins. Okay, so if that's the case, then even though Tzalafchad wasn't one of the ones that entered into the land of Israel, but because his brothers did enter the land of Israel, so now when it gets passed back to those that left Egypt, so he should be getting a portion because it gets divided up by everyone that left Egypt. And now that portion that was allotted to him, that goes back, right? So, but basically what we're saying is that everyone holds that it gets reapportioned or lechatchila apportioned based on the Yetzim Mitzrayim. Question is, 600,000 people left Egypt. Question is, do we say each one of those has a portion in the land of Israel, like designated originally? We divide it up by those 600,000, or do we divide it up by the people that entered into the land of Israel? Each one of them has. Okay. Now, if we say that it's by the people that entered the land of Israel, then the way we would do it is like this: we take all of those portions, 600,000 people, we pass it back to their parents that aren't alive because they died in the desert, but they left Egypt. Pass it back to them. And so then if there would be one brother that had 5 children, and so he would have 5 portions because, and it gets passed back to the parents, to the grandparents that left Egypt. And then there was one brother that had 1 child. Now it turns out that because there's 6 portions that were passed back to the grandparents, it gets divided now by 3 and 3. One that had 5 going in doesn't get the full 5. He only gets 3 of them. He doesn't get the full 6. He doesn't get the full 5. Yeah, we don't know the exact size. But
It's not even the size. The size can be dependent on the
Based on money.
agricultural output of
based on the
money.
value of it.
Here it says that the daughters would receive the state alongside their uncle.
Their uncles, exactly.
But they have first. Daughters will be first. And the uncles will be the daughters.
No, we're saying that the father doesn't actually get a portion because he wasn't from the ones that entered into the land of Israel. We're following that opinion now. But because the ones that entered into the land of Israel get portions, they pass it back to their parents. Then it gets inherited back down to Tzlafcha. So Tzlafcha doesn't have his own portion, but he has a portion after it's reassigned. And so for that, they're claiming. So there's no proof over here. In other words, we had a machlekes before, Rabbi Yoshia and Rabbi Yonasan, how the land is divided up. There's no proof to either of them because it could be that what they're complaining about is they want the reassigned portion, not the original portion.
So they would divide with their uncles.
Yeah. Because the father gets a portion, or the father's not alive, okay, so it goes to them. They're claiming that portion that the father was supposed to get. See, originally the question was the father doesn't get a portion. What are they claiming? Father wasn't entering the land of Israel. So we know he's not entering. But after those that entered, pass it back to Chefer, and then it gets passed back down to his father.
So they would divide. There was one uncle and one daughter. They would divide it in 2.
What do you mean one uncle and one daughter? It means
It's
2
like
brothers. You're 2 brothers and one of them died and he has a daughter. So they would split that, yeah.
So the uncle and the daughter, basically. The family of the uncle. The uncle's not alive either.
1 second, you're confusing.
No, uncle. Because here it says like alongside daughters, they inherit alongside their uncle. And from what I remember, is usually the daughters get first. Okay, no daughter. It goes to the uncle.
We're talking about the grandfather has all the property. It goes down to all the brothers. There's one brother that's not alive, but he has daughters. Those daughters inherit alongside the uncles because they're considered like the father. Okay.
Well, a question with respect to those who are Yotzi Mitzrayim. Is it as simple as following the halachas of Yerusha that we've learned up until this point?
You mean after it's reassigned?
Well, Salafkat had no sons and he had daughters, so his portion, whatever it was, goes to his daughters. Is it as simple as that as far as the Yotzi Mitzrayim?
Yeah, that's what we're learning. We're learning that. I mean, there's one detail here that's very different than every other Yerusha. That is that we're passing it, according to this opinion, we're passing it back to those that passed away and then reassign it. But other than that, all the laws of Yerusha this is the basis of the laws of Yerusha.
I don't understand the concept, what you just said. I know the Gemara says also passing it back. I mean, when it's like everybody who left Mitzrayim had a right that they hadn't exercised yet.
Right.
And it's that right that he passed on.
Well, it's not exactly that. It's everyone that enters the land of Israel, according to this opinion, that is divided by those that enter the land of Israel, every person that walks into the land of Israel gets a portion. If they're over 20 years old, right?
Right.
Portion. Yeah. However, it's not really happening like that. They get a coupon that says that that they get a portion, but that portion doesn't go to them. They take that portion and they pass it back to those that left Egypt, even though they passed away already. The
Right.
dead are inheriting the living. And then after it gets passed back to the dead that had left Egypt, it then gets and goes through the laws of inheritance and get passed back down to their family. So now the people that went into the land of Israel don't necessarily get that same coupon that they had when they passed over into land. They say, "Here's the coupon. Here, you got to go get your piece of land." No, now they have to split it with all their cousins because it gets. So it could be one brother only had one son that when he walked into the land, he only earned them one coupon, but because it gets passed back, he ends up getting 3 coupons because his brother had 5 kids.
Oh. Okay.
There's got to be a modern example of this, something, food stamps,
Oh,
some
no,
sort of,
they're not gonna give you the retroactive.
I don't know, like the more kids you have or something, the more you,
So,
Yeah.
so is this unique to splitting up the land?
this concept of passing it back to the dead. And however, the way it now returns is the laws of inheritance.
Could we bring it?
No, that's coming up on the next page.
So this would
We mentioned it once, but we're gonna say some more.
this would say then that the distribution to individuals within the tribe wasn't by Goral,
No, the girl said.
because you wouldn't have to go through all this.
No, they're
Yeah.
asking,
Federal was weird.
the girl is where, not who.
The Goral was at the tribal level, but I think it was unclear whether it was also at the individual level within the tribe, but this would say, no, it wasn't, because you go through all this analysis.
Yeah, I'm not sure what how the girl comes in. We'll have to wait. The girl, I think it's gonna talk about it later.
Hmm.
This going back.
Not today.
This going back change the way. It would be 50, 50, and that 150 is the better share.
Oh, once they get into the land, the game is fair.
It gets, you're talking about gets passed back to those that passed away.
With the uncles, that going back, change of the uncle. The daughters, was it they split? But if they divided into daughters, equally and the uncle.
No. It's divided by all the uncles equally. And even though there's 5 daughters here, they're only getting the portion of that one portion that the father had. He's just one of the brothers. Okay, so he didn't earn anything for the family entering into the land of Israel.
What you just said.
No, it's not what, no, I'm saying from
Like
this
opinion.
concept, yeah, we'll see soon. We're holding by the next one. What happens is, in the book of Yeshua, the family of Yosef comes and they say, we have so much, our population is so large, he didn't give us a big enough portion for our population. So if you say, so that they spoke, they said, we have such a, we were very small when we left Egypt. Now we're very large when we entered the land. You gave us a smaller portion because you allotted it based on how many people left Egypt. By us, it was a few thousand less than when we came into the land. So we don't have enough. Now we have so many children. We don't have space for them. We need a bigger house. We need a bigger yard. So Elamanda Amar Labayar, it's my katzavcha kulashaka. What are you talking about? What are you complaining? Everyone got their same, right? You get what you get, and you don't get upset, right? Everyone that walked into the land of Israel got a portion. What are you complaining? You have too many. Everyone got. The whole problem must be because how did this problem start? Must be because we didn't give it to the people that came in to the land of Israel. We gave it to the people that left Egypt. And now there's too many. And now entering into land, there's too many. The Gemara answers, Mishum Tfeilim Davinafishilahu. No, it could be that they came into the land and everyone that walks into the land gets a coupon. They had to be 20 years old. And they had thousands of people that were 19 and under. Yeah, it's a good answer. Okay. Amar Abaya.
Most of the tribe was
Well, because they were born in the desert. They were born in the desert in the last 19 years. So when they entered into the land, they were too young to get a portion, according to this opinion. Right? In other words, we're trying to answer. We said it really sounds like from this Gemara that it's that who got the portion in the land? Those that left Egypt, not the people that had. That's what it sounds like. Or it says no, that's not. Doesn't you don't have to say that. You could say it's the people that entered the land of Israel that each got a portion because they were too young. They didn't get. So, Amar Abaya Shma Mina. Abaya says from what we see here, that we know about the story of Bnei Tzlachar. We know about the story of the children of Yosef. This is Mendel. This is what you were bringing. It must be that everyone got a portion. How come we don't hear about anyone else complaining in Tanakh? Where's all the people that were under? It must be that everyone was 20 years old, or else we would have a lot of people screaming, "Where's my portion? Where's my portion?" I'm sorry.
Yes.
Where's the word all the people that if people didn't get a portion, they must have been complaining. Here we have Tzlafchad and Bnei Yosef that complained. Where's everyone else? So the Gemara says like this: maybe we can answer it like this and say that the Torah is only recording those people that complained and got an answer, like Tzlafchad. Yeah. Right? Squeaky wheel gets the grease. So the tzavach v'hani kasvikra, the tzavach v'layahani like kasvikra. Those that complained and it didn't help, the Torah doesn't write about it. So if that's what you want to answer, Bnei Yosef, the tzavach v'layahani kasvikra. Bnei Yosef didn't get a bigger portion because of that, and the Torah nevertheless records it in your book of Yeshua. So that's not a good answer, right? So the Gemara says, over there, the reason why it records it is because it's a teiba kamash malan. It's coming to teach us something. The bailei leinish is the hurimain abisha. But there was a lesson. The Torah was teaching me something else. That you have to be careful from an evil eye. They came forward and they said, we have so many children, that could be an evil eye. So Hillel and the Gemara are about to give the following answer. So you follow? Yeah. So it says like this. Vayomer v'haina dekamalem Yeshua. This is what Yeshua tells them. Diksiv vayomer alem Yeshua im amra vatem alei lecha hayara. If you're a big nation, a big tribe, like you say, so go up to the forest, which literally that means that why don't you go cut down some trees in the forest and build some houses over there and you'll have more land. There was a territory, there was an area there that they could go into that must have been like no man's land or something that they could have gone into. He says, okay, go up over there and take that. So, but that's not what the Gemara learns. The Gemara learns, Amar Lahu, he was really telling them, he's telling them, you should really be hiding in the forest so that you don't have the evil eye. That's what you're saying. Amrulay, they responded, we don't need to do that. Anan Mizar de Yosef. We come from the tribe of Yosef. We don't have the evil eye by us. There's no evil eye. Evil eye is when people get jealous. They look and they say, oh, why does he have that? He has so much. And so apparently Yosef people didn't get jealous of them because maybe how generous they were. We learned. Rabbi was Yosef. No, not Rabbi. That's Geifman. They were jealous of him.
But he overcame everything.
Uh-huh. I thought the Gemara said he didn't have the ayin har something to do with Petifar.
Was Ein Dor.
Okay.
So Bnei Yosef means the two tribes,
Oh,
Menashe and Ephraim together.
Yeah, it's interesting because this conversation is taking place with Menashe, right? And with Yeshua, Yeshua's from Ephraim. They're having a conversation together, which is interesting. So, the Ksiv ben Peres Yosef ben Peres Aliyayin. What does Peres mean? Do we have in English? Charming. Charming son of Yosef. The charming son that goes on the spring or goes on the eye. Amar Abavo al tikri oleayin al tikri aleayin ela oleayin. That goes on, but that's above the eye, means above the evil eye. Yeah, nothing, no harm happens to Yosef. That's Rabbi Vo explaining this. Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Chanina Amar Mehachi has another source. It says V'yidgul Rev Kekaravaretz, that they multiplied in the land. Why is this specifically only referring to Yosef? Just like the fish in the sea, the water covers over them and no eye can see them. Also, the descendants of Yosef, no eye has catches them, no eye has can harm them. The evil eye doesn't harm them. Okay.
So
Where are we holding
why
now?
don't we just simply say the first shot there, they say go into the forest, even though you said chop wood, they really go hide in the forest, and no one can see you. That's where spirits in the park
Right.
I mean, that's not what he said.
No, because they said we don't need to, because we're from the tribe of Yosef, we don't need to hide.
No, not that I'm saying. The person.
You're sure?
Was saying it really.
He was telling them you
Don't
should be
rely on this how I made, still be above any side.
Yeah, they were asking for land. Yeshua tells them you should be careful from the evil eye. And they responded, we're not worried about the evil eye. So, but what comes out over here is back to where how this started, was that it could be that there were other people that complained, but they just didn't get anything. So why does it record? Why does it record them? Because they didn't get anything after they complained. So why does it record Yosef? Well, it was teaching us another halacha about this conversation about the evil eye. Okay, back in the Mishnah, we learned that the Meraglim, they didn't get their portion. Instead, Yeshua v'Kalev natu chelkam. Yeshua and Kalev took their portion. Minani Mili, where do we know this from? Ula. Ula says he was our traveler. Damakra, the pasuk says, Yeshua ben Nun v'Kalev ben Nefune, chayu min anashim mahim. They survived from those people that went out to spy. My chayu, what does it mean they lived? They survived. Ile machayu mamashif means it's they survived. We have another pasuk that says no one survived except for Kalev ben Yefune Yeshua ben Nun. But you have to tell me again chayu that they lived. It says Ela my chayu shechayu b'chalkam, they lived in their portion. They got their portion. What they were supposed to get, they got it. Okay. Next.
So they didn't get the other guy's portion. They just got theirs. The other guys got theirs.
No.
They did
They ended up getting their portion.
of the other 10.
They ended up getting the other 10 portions. They each got 5 of those portions, I guess.
Oh, so that's the final.
Yeah. So you're thinking about the next Gemara, where it says, the complainers and the congregation of Kairach did not get a portion in the land. Yeah, you see where we are. and Kufit Chesam at base. It says Vatanya, but it says in the Brisa, Meraglim, Mislainim Vadas Kairach, Yeshua V'Kalvanat Chelkam. It says that Yeshua got their portion. You're telling me that the portion was just deleted. Yeah? It was just deleted. It's not, we have a Brisa that says no, it wasn't deleted. Yeshua and Kalif took it. It says Lake Kash, it's not a problem. Mar Makish Mislainim Lemeraglim. It depends. It's machlekes. We had a contradiction. One of the ways of resolving a contradiction is by saying it's machlekes. So, how is it a machlekes? It's machlekes because, according to this opinion, there's a comparison between the complainers to the spies. If you do that comparison, so just like Yeshua got the portion of the spies, they also got the portion of the complainers. If you don't do the comparison, then they say they only got the portion of the spies, but not of the complainers. The Tanya was taught in a brisa. Avinu based b'midbar. Now the Rashbam says it's not necessary to say because it's obvious. The daughters of Tzlafcha that were saying this. The brisa says that's Tzlafcha. That's Tzlafcha. Our father died in the desert. That's Tzlafcha. So where did I see that there may be something missing in this Gemara? Yeah, shechasim min asfarim. The Rashbam says near beina shechasim min asfarim. It's supposed to be saying Rabbi Akiva Imer that it's the Makosha Sheitzim. Rabbi Akiva adds in Zet Tzlafchat. Now we add in that how did he die? He died because he was collecting the wood on Shabbos. That's that Gemara in. Wasn't that interesting? I think it's Daf Kafiyat Ches and Shabbos. Let me look at your Rashi. They'll tell me. My Rashi doesn't have a note. No. How do I make it in Hebrew? Oh, I did the letter. Ah, okay. Is it Salaf Chad? Doesn't really tell it to me. Okay. Doesn't tell it to me. Okay. Anyway, whatever. Give me 1 second. No, it's not. It's not. It was in Hazayra.
Here mentions that Clarkson that he had no son, but remember he did. He did true like right before.
1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Okay.
Found it?
No. My pages are off. Okay, so it goes like this. Avinu Meis B'Midrazet Tzlafchat. He was not amongst the congregation Zedas Meraglim. This is referring to the spies. That's what the daughters of Tzlafchat are telling to Moshe. It says our father died, but he wasn't one of the spies. Hanayedim al Hashem that congregated against Hashem. Elam Mislainim. These are the complainers. Ba'adas Kairach. And in the congregation of Kairach Kamashmai, that's literal. Okay.
That's why he was in that thing.
He was not one of them. As they're saying, our father was not one of the people that was complaining against you. He died from his own sin. No, it wasn't a bad guy. He had a sin, he died. But it wasn't one of the people that was rebellious against Moshe.
So I thought what was going on over there?
They all died.
They were complaining. They wanted a portion in the land.
Why was he
Oh,
That's.
oh, what's the pshat on Makashas? So that Gemara.
So why was he doing it? What was the?
Yeah, that's you have to look
the
over there.
Amar, it's Mamish?
No, the opposite. The opposite. He was trying to prove a point. Yeah, it's in
Right,
Kuf
he's
Aleph.
still fun.
It's
That's
the
not
Kuf. It's Tzadik. Yes.
But he is still.
Yeah, you got to read this Gemara. Tzadik is Vav Amud Beis. Yeah. So, no, in the parsha when it comes, it's all the debate. So, Ma'ar Makish Mislain Meraglim. One opinion here in the Brisa compares the complainers to the Meraglim. Amar Le Makish Mislain Meraglim. Another opinion doesn't compare the Mislainim, the complainers to the Meraglim. Okay. Amalei Rav Papa Abaya. Laman the Makish Mislain Meraglim. Ichu Yeshua v'Kalei v'Yartu l'Kol Eretz Yisrael. Very interesting Gemara here. Gemara is suggesting, Rav Papa is suggesting that there was other complainers. It says when they complained, what are we going to drink? It says, the entire congregation complained. So what are we going to drink? It says, if you say that Yeshua and Kalev take the inheritance that was supposed to go to the spies and to the complainers, not just and to the complainers, then the entire congregation complained that they needed water to drink. Yeshua and Kalev are going to inherit everyone's everything, and they'll just leave, right? Some are more equal. Yeah. So Amalei, so Abai responds, you got it wrong. We actually learned this before. We mentioned this. Doesn't mean the complainers. It means the complainers of the congregation of Kairach. That's the ones that there's a machlekes here if Yeshua and Kalev got their portion. Not the complainers of water, that they wanted water. It's not referring to. It's not the other complainers. It's the complainers about meat, whatever. It's the complainers of Kaira. So that boils it down to 250 people, right? Amalei Rav Papa Abaya. Rav Papa says to Abaya Bishlam Lamanda Amalei it's Mitzrayim Neschalkar Tzayna Diktiv. What time does Shachar start?
8 o'clock.
Oh,
That was yesterday.
Today's Monday.
I thought it
the
said
whole
8
day.
o'clock was.
6:39.
6.
Are you sure? Because I looked at it.
If it's I can't hear it. I'm not telling. What do you think?
I thought I read this
I'm
morning.
with Jonathan.
If it starts at 6:30, what time 6:30 does it really start? 6:39. So either way, I have another 5 minutes. Okay. If you say that the Eretz Yisrael was divided by those people that left Egypt, the first 600,000 that left Egypt, I know the ksiv, that's the meaning of the pasuk that says, "Vayiplu chevle Menashe asara," that it fell into the portion of Menashe 10 portions. The Shita Basiyavis. There were 6 families from Menashe. There were 6 brothers: Abiezer, Chelek, Ashriel, Shechem, Chefer, and Shmida. Those are the brothers that were in Rashbam quotes them.
6:30.
Okay, so the 6 brothers. Barba did 2. And then there's another 4 that the daughters of Tzalafchad are going to get. Asara. So 6 plus 4. 6 brothers each get a portion. This is only if it's Liyitzim Mitzrayim. Yeah, there was 6 brothers, each gets a portion. And then because of the situation with Tzalafcha that he passed away, the daughters get another 4 portions. Okay. Thought they got 3. So you wait a second. Very good. Yeah, what's going on? 1 second. Hold on. We're saying that there's 4. Hasara. So that makes sense. Elamanda Malabai Haaretz. But if you say that it's only given to those that enter into the land, Tamnayahu, that should really only be 8. The Habishita, the Shita Batyavis, because there's 6 of the 6 brothers betrayed the 2, and then the 2 portions that they get from Chefer, which is the double portion that they're getting, Hatamnaya, that would be the 8 altogether. 6, right? The Gemara says, according to you, according to you, it's only supposed to be 9, right? That's Shalom, your question. How do you get 4? It's only 3 portions. What were the 3 portions? We mentioned this before, that's why. The 3 portions would be that Tzlafchad gets a portion, right? If it's from the Yetzer Mitzrayim. If Tzlafchad doesn't enter the land, but he left Egypt. So because he left Egypt, so he gets a portion. And he was also a firstborn of Chefer, so he gets 2 portions from his father.
Who's Haifa's father?
Chefer was his father. Who was he? He was one of the 6 brothers.
Oh.
Abiezer, Chelek, Ashriel, Shechem, Chefer, and Shmida. Oh, the tribe of Menashe. Yosef, Menashe. It goes Menashe, Machir, Gilad, Chefer, Tzlafchad, and then Machla, Naya, Chagla, Milka, and Tirza. The 5 brothers, the 5 sisters. Yeah. And these 5 sisters, they had 6 or 5 great uncles. Right. Okay. Now, how many uncles did they have? That we're about to see. How many brothers Tzlafchad had? We'll see in a moment. So we said, what do you say? What are you saying? There's only supposed to be 3. You told me that there's 4. That makes 10. There's really 3, which makes 9, 6, because those people left Israel, plus Tzlafchad. Okay. Says Elamayas Lach Lameimar. How are you going to answer your question that how do you get 10 if there's really only 9 portions? Well, Chad Achad Abba Havalu. Tzlafchad had 1 brother, and he passed away. So Tzlafchad got that, and they got that portion from him. So there's an extra one. So if that's the case, Achinami Trei Achid Abba Havalu. So I'll say there were 2 brothers. You're worried that there's really only supposed to be 8. See, we had a difference over here. If it goes after those that left Egypt, then we can say, okay, there's 10. I said, well, there's really only 9. Okay, there was another brother that his portion gets counted. So they say, but if you say it's those that are entering into the land, so Tzlafchad didn't enter the land, you were down to 8. They said, well, how do you go from 9 to 10? There was another brother. So they say, okay, so there was another 2 brothers. Just the Tanya was started in the Bryce, says we're going to give them a portion of the land amongst their father. That's their amongst the father's inheritance. That's referring to the father's inheritance, which is Tzlafchad. And we're going to pass over the father's inheritance to them portion. So the second portion. Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, who is Kavanaki, right? Everything he says is accepted. He said that no, he would also get a portion of the brother, because it says nothing titin, you shall surely give. That's an extra portion. They learn it. If there's 2 brothers, they learn that when it says that he get a portion, you can learn from there. It could have just said, what does it say? That teaches us that there was an extra portion. Okay, now here's the last conversation of Papa and Abaya. Abaya, Kra Maika Chashuv. What's going on over here? Is the pasuk when it says that there were 10 portions? What's it referring to? Eat falam kachashiv. If it's talking about the children, then tuvahavi. Then there were many. Ibatiabes kachashiv. If it's just saying the main portions of the father's house, shitahavi, then there's 6. Why did it say there's 10? The Gemara says loilam batiabes kachashiv. Really, it's counting the households. But kamash malan, it's coming to teach us Why did it give us the B'nai Tzlafchad's portion as well, which that it didn't have to mention? Was it really only 6? Why did it give us the B'nai Tzlafchad? Kamash Malan, the B'nai Tzlafchad natu chelik b'chayra. It really wanted to tell us that the B'nai Tzlafchad got a double portion because their father was a firstborn. Alma Eretz Yisrael mechzekasi. Now this is what Hillel was mentioning before, that if we say that Eretz Yisrael was not owned yet, so then you don't get a firstborn double portion on property that wasn't passed on yet. You only get a firstborn a double portion of what's owned right now. So it must be that Eretz Yisrael was already owned by the father, even though they weren't there yet. You don't get a double portion of what comes later. So it must be Eretz Yisrael mechzekasi, that they had possession, like potential possession of it already, not potential, they had real possession of it even beforehand, and that's how they're able to get a double portion of Eretz Yisrael. Okay. So get out of here.
Rule of yet, or we also have to?
Officially it's 7:20. Officially it's, I don't know.